Action! Hey there, welcome to another episode of Church's Hollywood Moments with me, Thomas J Churchill, a.k.a. Church. Years ago, I used to be, I think I said this once before in one of these videos. I used to have a radio show called Church's Hollywood Moments. It was on a internet radio station called All Radio X. We're going back maybe over 10 years ago. So one of the things that I'm thinking about doing, well, not thinking about, I decided that we're going to do it, is I'm going to play all those episodes. I'm going to make them as episodes where you guys can listen to and see how it used to be back when we just did a radio show before we actually did anything cool where we were on set and interviewing other people face to face, going on locations and all that fun stuff. So this is an episode of Church's Hollywood Moments from back in the day. We'll call it a vintage radio show. Talk soon.
You're tuned to All Radio X. All extraordinary. All exceptional. All excellent. All Radio X.
X marks the radio spot.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily express those of All Radio X or its sponsors. All shows are independently owned and broadcast for entertainment purposes only. Readers and listeners are advised that neither All Radio X nor its owners and agents shall be held liable for the content of programs. Website content and any audio produced and streamed by All Radio X is protected under copyright and may not be recorded, rebroadcast, redistributed, or reused without express written permission from All Radio X.
Booyah! You're listening to Church's Hollywood Moments with your host, Thomas Churchill and Drew Albright. Booyah! Yeah, that's right. It's my show, people. It's where independent and Hollywood become my mainstream. Action. Tune it up. Grab a chair. And booyah is in the air. Cut!
Booyah! How are ya? How is everybody out there in 195 countries?
Woohoo!
There you go.
I love that grab a chair booyah is in the air.
Yeah.
That is awesome in the intro song. I love it.
Yeah, we try over here to be a little different and everything else. But I just want to welcome everybody to another Tuesday night on All Radio X. I am your host, Thomas Churchill, or you can call me Church, as my friends do. And my lovely co-host is the Dr. Drew Albright.
Hey, cool people. Welcome. Yes, we all call him Church, and we pray to him. We all get on our knees and pray to Church.
Oh, no, they don't.
For good movies, that's what we pray for.
That's right. And I'll do my best to try to deliver that to you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, this is going to be a cool show. We are a few days away from Halloween 2013, and
Yes.
we have a wonderful guest who's on his way. He's making me a little nervous. Uh, my buddy, Mr. Andrew BRYNIARSKI, mainly known for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre the beginning. But Andrew had an incredible career. He worked with amongst big Hollywood directors and big Hollywood actors. So he's not just a horror icon; he's a Hollywood actor. And I'm proud to have him as my buddy as well.
Absolutely. And what a good guess for the Halloween season.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know that not just because he wore the mask in Texas Chainsaw, but he was also in one of his first movies, I believe, is Hudson Hawk with Bruce Willis. He was Chip Shrek, who was Christopher Walken's son in Batman Returns. He was in Cyborg. He was in The Program as Steve Vladimir. Everybody knows that film. Street Fighter, Higher Learning, Any Given Sunday, Pearl Harbor, Scooby Doo, Rollerball, Firefly.
It's so funny that he was in Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
Isn't that like the cutest thing ever?
Yeah,
this big burly guy.
And most recently, I actually caught him in the remake of Mother's Day he was in. And, there's some, we'll be talking about some other projects that he's been doing and what he's been up to and his, his road to fame. I got tons of questions to ask him. So we should have a great show. I'm hoping to have a great show because we always have a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
How was your weekend? What did you do, Drew?
My weekend was good. Unfortunately I was like working so much, so I didn't get a whole lot of scary movies in because usually I like to pack in a bunch of them right before Halloween. But I did get this awesome new Halloween doll. He's kind of like a mariachi band guitar playing skeleton. And he's all jeweled out. I'll have to post a picture on my Instagram or something. But I was super psyched because it's really hard to find good Halloween finds a lot of times. There's a lot of cheap stuff out there, but this one was really, really cool. So I was very happy. What did you do, Churchill?
Well, I've done some pretty cool things. I've worked hard on.
I know we're both working so hard.
I've worked on some editing stuff. I worked on some stuff for what the hell. Little thing for Hollow Point. I worked on some Lazarus material.
Those are both very Halloweeny.
Yeah.
You have Halloween all the time.
Yeah.
Lazarus is like zombies, and then Hollow Point is werewolves.
But there's a few other projects that probably be scooped out very soon. That's not in those veins, but it's not a werewolf or it's like some serial killers and some ghosts and some devils is what we're working on as well. So It should be fun. It should be really fun. I was listening to some more music being laid out for Lazarus with John Bruner and David M. Parks. Music's coming along really good. The sound design's coming good. Lazarus should be ready to be birthed to the world. I would say very shortly. Very shortly. We got some distributors that are very interested in it. Hang, I'm getting a text now from Andrew. Hang on.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's on his motorcycle driving to the studio.
Yeah. He's a little bit in traffic. So, God willing, he'll be here very soon. We're in LA.
This is LA, people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is why there's traffic all the time, and
Yeah.
this is like prime time traffic time.
It sucks at times because there's the difference between Los Angeles and like New York and anything else. I mean, New York, you have tons of trains and railing, Long Island railroads and few freeways or highways as we call it back east. Out here, it is like the train system is kind of still new and they don't go everywhere. And if you live on one end of the area, like one end of the hill, Hollywood Hills or Los Angeles or downtown, it takes a while just to get to point A to point B. So something that's normally like 15-minute drive will actually take anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. So if you don't know alternate routes, you kind of get screwed. But
I have a question about that because, like, I'm Skyping in from South Florida, and so down here we have this thing, especially in South Florida, it's called Cuban time. And basically, it's where no matter what time your appointment is, the other person is going to be an hour and a half late because they just operate on Cuban time. That's like how it is, the culture. And so you plan for that. Like, if you want to meet them, you tell them an hour and a half earlier, and then they'll be there at the time you actually want to meet.
yeah.
In LA, when you're doing, because you're a director, obviously people tuning in probably know that, but Churchill is a famous director.
Oh, stop! Flattery will get you everywhere.
When you're doing casting calls and everything, is Los Angeles? Do they give people some leeway considering traffic?
No.
Or is it like
no? Fuck no. Fuck no. It's
you
gotta,
the same as everywhere. You
yeah.
have to be professional.
Exactly. If you don't show up when you're supposed to show up, then yeah, you'll get a phone call. Hi, I'm running late. I'm stuck here. And yeah, you give them the benefit of the doubt. But if it ends up being an hour, 2 hours late, next, like anything else. You snooze, you lose. So always try to be, set your time. It's funny. It's like my mom. I was just talking to her yesterday. Well, I talk to her every day, but I was mentioning something yesterday. And my mom, if you tell her you'll be there at 5 o'clock to pick her up or something, she doesn't come out of the house until 5:15, 5:20. So you got to be smart about it. So you say, I'm going to pick you up at 4:40. And then she'll end up, being ready for 5 o'clock.
It's like mom time.
Mom time.
Cuban time.
Cuban time, mom time, LA time. So,
because in New York, I mean, a minute, it's like a New York minute. I mean, you're late a minute, boom, that's it, you're out.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of things can happen in a New York minute.
Yes.
A lot of things can happen all at 2:45. Wasn't that Huey Lewis that said that in that one of his songs? I don't know.
That's bringing me back.
I'm showing my age. Sorry.
I had a crush on Huey Lewis. I really did. That was like one of my first girl crushes.
Wow.
Huey Lewis and MacGyver.
MacGyver, the guy that can make a bomb out of toilet paper.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, also what I did this weekend, I went to a couple of Halloween parties. I hung out with my buddy Roy Kinnearum and Cindy from Soda.
That's awesome! Do they throw Halloween parties? They should throw Halloween parties.
Well, they're doing some cool stuff over at Soda. They're getting ready, gearing up some great films. There's some iconic projects that they just landed that I'll mention maybe down the road when I'm allowed to from them, and maybe even have them on the show. They hanging out with them was cool, and then it was Marissa Parks' birthday, who's the voice behind the songs that we've been playing. Her birthday was on Saturday night, so we all hung out with her as well and wished her a happy birthday if she's listening today. Again,
and for everybody, like Soda Effects, that is like the effects company featured on Monster Man.
Yes.
Which Thomas Churchill was on. So that's like, you would think they would have like the coolest Halloween setup ever because all they do all year is work on special effects and cool monsters.
Oh yeah, it's always Halloween at that place. It's great. We had I was on, as you said, Monster Man. I think episode 2, The Forbidden Werewolf. Got to work with Roy. Again, with Soda, they did all the FX for Lazarus. So when you get to see Lazarus, we teamed up again to work on that. And of course, Roy's still involved with Hollow Point and a few other projects we're going to be doing. So I'm pretty stoked about that. But
yeah, and he's really fun to have on, and so is his wife.
oh yeah, she's crazy. She's funny. It's good stuff. And then also for you filmmakers out there, and I'm sure everybody's that's getting ready for the AFM, the American Film Market, will be here next week in Los Angeles, actually Santa Monica. It runs from November 6th to the 13th. The AFM, if you're not aware of it, and filmmakers out there, that is the place where producers, distributors, and whoever it is here trying to sell, buy, and package films. It's an important spot. It's as important as Cannes Film Festival, which is in France in May. So if you guys have any projects that are going to be displayed here at the AFM, I wish you all luck and congratulations.
You were at LAFM for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, I go every year. I like going. I usually go from like the Thursday after it's open to like the Sunday. See a lot of friends. Some family people are there. A lot of distributors. A lot of people that have my product or product that I'm working on. So it's a cool thing. You know, it's like going back to. It's that once a year event where everybody sees each other and says, hey, the people that you normally don't get a chance to hang out with. But
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. So, Andrew, I don't know where he's at yet. He said he's a little bit in traffic. So I just I had the privilege of meeting Andrew through a mutual friend of ours, Brad Lurie. So leave it to horror that I would have to go through Michael Myers to be introduced to Leatherface.
I know, right? Two nice franchises right there.
Yeah. Brad Lurie was Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection and a very good friend of mine. And he's actually, for your all Brad Lurie fans, he will have something in Lazarus as well. So I'm pretty excited.
He's very good looking. For all you women out there who care about that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's not a bad looking guy. When Brad comes into town, he usually stays at my place, and we kind of go crazy, run around. And he's a good guy. He's a genuine guy. I got to meet him on set of Mr. Hush, the film that I produced. He's a good guy and great actor when he's doing his thing. So I know Andrew a few years, and he is what he is. He's down to earth. He's humbled. He's a big animal lover. He's a great man, and he'd go the extra mile for his fans, and definitely go the extra mile for his friends, unless he's in traffic. But we are pretty happy to have him here when he comes.
When he comes.
So, the guy's got an impressive list of things he's been doing.
Let me ask you, Churchill, have you seen, I just saw this for the first time, I'm sad to say, on his IMDb. Have you seen Chopper? His horror TV series?
I haven't. That's on the BBC, right?
I don't know. Like, where do you go see this? I want to see this.
I think it's a BBC channel. So if you got cable or satellite, look for your BBC channel and see when Chopper is on. I think it's like a detective story. I do see the commercials for it.
Well, there's like a headless dude on the cover of it, and it says Chopper, and it says, let me see. I think it says it's like maybe even written by Tyler Mane. I don't know. Tyler Mane's the main star, which I also love Tyler Mane. It seems like he and Andrew should be like really best friends.
Wait. You're talking about Chopper the movie or Chopper the television series?
Chopper the television series.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the BBC series. No, it's not. I don't think it's the same one I'm thinking of. No, I didn't see it then. Wow.
Weird.
Yeah,
It says TV series horror.
maybe it's on FearNet. It might be on FearNet or one of those networks that may carry it. But
One season.
Andrew, who's got to work with directors like Tim Burton, John Singleton, Oliver Stone, Michael Bay, John McTiernan, and Marcus Nispel. I mean, he's also worked alongside Bruce Willis, Al Pacino, Halle Berry, and
Yeah, you want to work alongside Halle Berry.
I'd rather work alongside. Yeah, Halle Berry's cool, but I like Jessica Biel in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In fact, I just watched that a little while ago just to kind of refresh my memory with with his version. And out of all the versions, I mean, I know all the guys that played Leatherface, with the exception of the brand new guy. But I'd have to say Andrew's performance is probably the scariest.
I thought so. I thought that movie was so like dark and intense. I really liked his version a lot. It was really freaky.
My favorite part out of the whole movie. Okay, now this is going to show you where my mind is, Drew.
Okay.
My favorite part is when he's killing the girl that he just got out of the van, and then and Jessica Biel's screaming from inside the van, and he turns and he's wearing her boyfriend's face on his mask. That is so creepy, well done, brilliant, and can cause nightmares for people.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was one of the creepiest
Yeah, I thought
things.
it was good too.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take a quick moment, and I'm gonna do some shout outs here for on All Radio X. You guys can tune in every Sunday night and listen to Mr. Zach Daggy, Alan Sale, and myself on our horror show called The Midnight Meat Locker. It's on Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Following this show today, you can listen to Helping Hand, Open Heart, Sherry Emily's show, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific, every Tuesday night. Followed by her show would be John Bruner's Music to Listen For. And I think I lost my co-host here. Let me see if she's around. There she is. Hey, you. You there? Okay. Lost her. So, anyway, you guys can also listen into the Midnight Horror Show Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Double Talk Radio Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All these shows are on no other place but All Radio X. X marks the radio spot. So tune in. Every day there's something great playing on All Radio X. So while my co-host calls me back, we just Skyped out. Skype took a dump on us, which is normal. Our guest is a little late, so here I am. God, this is awesome. Only in this business, or Hollywood, as you could say, never plan. You always have Murphy's Law going on no matter what. Something always will go wrong, so you always have to have. But nothing's going wrong because we got it under control. But this station, this show, Church's Hollywood Moments, is pretty much designed to bring independent film and Hollywood filmmaking to you guys, the audience. Because to me, there is no difference between independent or Hollywood. Filmmaking is filmmaking, so it all becomes my mainstream. My background is I produce and I direct and I write. Sometimes I do some acting. And here she is. And welcome back, Doc.
Hey, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Skype decided to be very spooky.
Yeah, I said Skype likes taking a shit on people, and they've been doing that. They did that to me a couple times on the show, on Sunday night show. It just happens. So, I'm glad you're back. I was just going through some things here, paying the bills, so to speak, and telling a little bit about what our show's going to be doing and what we do on our show. If anybody's interested in being on the air right now, Skype us at Church Hill Productions 1. I'd be happy to talk if you can get through, because it's been pretty busy.
We should do some shout outs too, because in the chat room we have Zach Daggy, yay,
Zach
fellow
Daggy!
horror fan. Sherry Emily, she has her own show, True Ghost Story.
Okay. You there? And I think we lost Doc again. Okay, so this is very Halloween. So let's talk about Halloween and some good horror news that's been happening. It's been announced that the horror classic film Trick or Treat will now have a sequel, so Sam will be returning sometime in the near future for Trick or Treat 2. There's also rumors about a John Carpenter reboot for They Live. There's also rumors of John Carpenter's reboot for Escape from New York. So it's been fun. A lot of cool things going on in and around the area. And here we are. And how are you?
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah, awesome. So basically, I've been just talking to the audience in regards to the
Can you hear me, Churchill?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me, Doc? Doc, can you hear me, Doc?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yay! I was trying to do my Bones from Star Trek voice.
Oh, that's good. We definitely need more power. Skype definitely needs more power. That is for sure.
Skype sucks. So, I was just telling the audience about the reboots of They Live and Escape from New York that John Carpenter is going about letting things happen. So it was around Halloween, so I figured I'd talk about some horror films as well as.
Wait, you're telling me they're doing a reboot of They Live?
Yes, they're going to do a reboot of They Live and Escape from New York.
No.
But here's a cool thing: if you're a fan of the film Trick or Treat, they just announced last night that they will be doing a sequel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's real cool actually. So it's pretty. We're all excited about it. You know, it's good stuff. It's good for the horror business. Horror to me is that genre that if it's being taken serious and you can tell new and inventive stories, it's got such an audience that will do anything and listen to anything when it comes to horror. Horror, you know, we already passed the cheese aspect of it. You know, there is no more. Well, I shouldn't say there is no more cheese because there's still cheese. Some movies still come out.
Well, like They Live, that had a great amount of cheese to it. Like,
but it was great.
To kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That is classic. But that was good cheese.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about like, you know, I mean, I just actually watched a pretty decent horror film the other night. And I'm actually going to talk more about it also on the Midnight Meat Locker next Sunday. But I'm going to tease you guys a little bit. You ever see a movie called Severance?
Are they in the woods?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I have seen that one.
I believe it's I don't want to say it's an English film. It's not an English film. I think it's more Romanian.
Like Dutch or something.
Or something like that. Yeah, but it's they speak English. They took a twist where 5 or 6 people go into the woods and they end up getting killed. But only these 5 or 6 people aren't couples. They're a group of professionals going away to do some management building class and for training. And there happens to be a little roadblock in their trip, so they end up getting off the bus. No, don't get off the bus. Yes, they broke the rule. They get off the bus and they start walking.
Yes, don't get off the
Yeah,
bus.
that's the rule. You don't get off the bus. You never say I'll be right back. You never, those are the rules. Come on, Scream laid them out. They pulled back the curtain and showed everybody. But with this movie, it's very inventive. It was the killings were really cool. It's like a horror comedy. And she left me again. But it's like a horror comedy. Um, it's really funny at times. It's black humor. It's bloody. It's disgusting. And she's back. You there?
Yes, I actually did see that movie, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's. I was just saying, it's a black comedy. There's a lot of fun things about it, and it's creepy. It's cool. It's inventive, and it's streaming right now on Netflix. So check it all out. Called Severance.
I like it too because I hate those like fake team building exercises,
Mm.
which are so dorky, and so I love the idea of that getting disrupted by crazy killers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to be if you're gonna do a slasher movie. Listen to this out there, everybody. Every filmmaker out there that wants to do something very different. Yes, you want a cool mask. A cool mask is always cool, but you got to do something different, or follow some sort of guidelines that's been laid out with Hitchcock, Carpenter, and Sean Cunningham with Friday the 13th. But don't tell the same story. There's so many stories you can tell in horror. Pick something and do something really, really cool and put your own spin on it. If you want to tell that story about five people, Tony's Pizza? No. If you want to tell that story about five people in the going into the woods and getting killed, do it. But put a spin on it. Put something different. Tell a different story. What do you think, Doc?
I think absolutely. That's why I liked Saw, because when the
Yes.
first Saw movie came out, I mean, nobody really saw that one coming, that
So
plot
nobody
line
really saw the
twist.
Saw. Is that what you're saying?
Nobody really saw the Saw. And, that franchise, you could say a lot of different things as it went on. But, I mean, that first one, nobody can talk bad about the first one.
No.
And just because it was so inventive, but it's still... it was inventive while being classic, which I like that. That combination is a winning combination.
Right. It's and it also invented the other genre of horror called torture porn.
Yes, which I like torture porn.
Yeah. So torture porn, if nobody is familiar with this term, this is a type of horror that you pretty much see blood, guts, gratuitous violence, gratuitous killings, just cutting, hacking up. And Hostel is under torture porn. The Saw films are under torture porn. And then you got your slasher movies under that, your thrillers, your suspense, your psychological thrillers, your horror dramas. So horror has this one banner, and under it, there's all these different elements to it. So if you like horror, you should enjoy all horror. Right, Doc?
Yes, Eli Roth is like my favorite torture porn director, and Hostel's probably one of my favorite series because, like, the two that he did, I didn't even see Hostel 3 because I just don't want to, because it's probably not that good compared to the first two. But the second one, I thought actually it was one of those sequels. He did such a good job with it.
The third one wasn't bad. The third one wasn't bad. It's not. It's probably the weakest one out of the trilogy.
It's not him
No.
directing, so that's why.
Did
You
he?
saw it?
I don't think he directed the second one. Did he?
I thought he did. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I could be wrong. I know he didn't direct the second Cabin Fever, so yeah, I could be wrong with that.
Oh
one.
yeah, he just produced, I think, the second one.
Yeah, I did see the third Hostel film, and it wasn't bad. It was all right. It's also streaming on Netflix, but it's not. It's not the first one.
No, he directed Hostel Part 2. I looked it up.
Oh, perfect. Good.
Yeah, that's why it has his feel to it. I like Eli Roth a lot.
I think he's a pretty good director. I actually like him better as an actor.
Yeah, he was fun.
In
He was very fun in Inglourious Bastards.
yes, and he was actually pretty good in the Grindhouse films too. He was in the episode with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was awesome too.
yeah. So, what's your favorite horror film of all time, Doc?
Oh my god, that's really hard because I like so many of them for so many different reasons. I really like The Descent. I gotta say,
Interesting.
it's a horror thriller, I would say.
Interesting.
But the character development is so good on it, and one of the main reasons I like it, I mean, it's a pure female cast. Except for like the little creatures.
Yeah.
And there's such strong women in the film, and so I really like that. In the ending, the original director's ending, which is the way you should see that movie, is so bleak. I love it because it's very true to life in a way and realistic. So I like that one. I love Hostel. I really love Hostel 1 and 2. And I would say like around Halloween time, I'm all about watching Halloween.
Okay.
And I'm all about watching Nightmare on Elm Street because as a kid, Freddy Krueger really did freak me out. Like I was scared to take a bath. I thought the hand was going to come up and I thought it was going to come out of the wall. So he was probably the monster that tormented me the most. So then to like know him later on in life and meet him and have him say things like, Drew, I want to have your baby and stuff like that is like, has been really cool for me. So I watch that every Halloween.
I like my favorite two horror films of all time. I mean, I got a bunch, but my favorite two is The Exorcist and Psycho. Hitchcock's Psycho, not Gus Van Sant's reboot.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
no, because it's basically we're not going to go there. It's those two are my favorite horror films. When you talk about Halloween, of course, the granddaddy of all slasher movies would be Halloween 1, Carpenter's version, followed by Halloween 2. I liked, which to me, 1 and 2 is pretty much the same movie. Out of that series, we just talked about this also on the Midnight Meat Locker. Out of that series, I thought Halloween 1, Halloween 2 was good. H2O, Resurrection, all those four films kind of go together. And then you got 4, 5, and 6 was kind of telling a different storyline. 4 was pretty good because it was Return of Michael Myers. But it kind of, like 5 and 6 kind of just took a shit, you know?
Which one was the outer space one?
You're talking about Jason X.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, sorry about that.
Now, out of the Friday the 13th series, my favorites are the first 4, and I enjoyed part 6. I must have, when I was a kid growing up, every Saturday, my buddies, who's actually listening right now, hello there, Lieutenant Volmerhausen. Nice to see you through the radio. Arthur Volmerhausen, I grew up with back east. We were childhood friends, still one of my very close, deepest, best friend. He, every Saturday, we used to go to the movie, go see a horror film, and then go to Roy Rogers and arm wrestle. That was my Saturday rituals as a 16-year-old.
And arm wrestle, you would have won.
I actually
with those guns.
I don't want to brag, but I've always won. Yes.
Yeah.
And there was this. I'll never forget. There was this big guy. Arthur, if you're listening, I can't remember his name. Could you text it to me? I don't know if it was Danny or Donald. It was this big, tall guy, big built guy, but he was kind of like I don't know, like Lenny from Mice and Men, you know, like very like a simple guy, but he was strong and he always wanted to arm wrestle me. So his friends would cheer him on, my friends would cheer me on. Now this guy's arm is like twice the size of mine, but I did that whole over the top thing that Stallone used to do. Go over your thumb and I always beat the guy. Oh my God, bringing back
Oh, so
memories.
it's about technique
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, everything
and
has
not
technique.
necessarily strength. Okay.
No, even like boxing. Boxing has technique. Yeah, I just got text. It was Danny. So he is listening. Um,
Aw.
the even boxing has a technique. I mean, you don't really look at your opponent's eyes. You're staring at his chest to see where he's gonna. And you're welcome, Arthur. He just you're staring at your opponent's chest to see if you're staring at focused on their chest. You could see any movement they're gonna do. You're not worried about his head moving. You're worried about his arms. So that's the technique in boxing. Not that I know this, and I'm a boxer, but I do play one on TV. No, I'm kidding. So,
Well, you've got the guns for it,
oh,
definitely.
flattery would get you everywhere, of course.
So Ginger Irish in the chat room, she says her most scary horror movie, most favorite one is White Noise.
With Michael Keaton, great film. Booyah, Ginger. Booyah! Thank you very much for
Why did I think it's with Kevin Bacon?
White Noise. I think
Yeah.
no, Kevin Bacon's in Hollow Man,
Okay.
and he was in something else. But no, White Noise. I'm almost certain it was Michael Keaton.
Okay, I can't remember White Noise.
Well,
So
you got check your IMDb. You got it in front of you.
apparently it didn't make such an extreme impression on me. I think it's people trying to come back from the other side, right?
Yes, through electronics. Michael Keaton. I can't remember the full film, but there is some cool, scary moments in that film. I mean, some cool horror films are out there that fall under the horror category. Do have some cool elements to it, but not really enough to stand out in people's minds. One of the classic
Okay.
horror movies of all time, and a lot of people never saw this film, is a movie called Burnt Offerings with Oliver Reed and Karen Black. If you want to see a cool haunted possession type of movie, watch that film. Burnt Offerings. Check it out. I think it was 1980 it came out. Speaking of 1980, the movie Maniac was really good, but did you see the remake of Maniac with Elijah Wood?
No, I did not.
Creepy, pretty good. A lot of homage to the original. Although and we lost Drew again. So there's a lot of people that like the movie Maniac, the remake, and a lot of people that hate the movie. Okay, I hate Skype. Can I go on the record of saying that right now?
No, because we want Skype to be a sponsor of the show, and that way they'll give us really good service.
Well, Skype better not give us bag of shit services because I'm tired of them. You hear that, Skype?
We'll have premiere service. So you're right too. White Noise,
Michael Keaton, right?
Keaton,
Yeah.
Chandra West, Deborah Karen Unger.
Nice.
By the way, I love Burnt Offerings, and I love Black. Oh, she's so good.
Yeah.
She's so wonderful.
Yeah, she just passed a few months back. She passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Burnt Offerings is a great movie. Angel Heart is another cool movie to watch during the season. That's not your basic Halloween styled movie. If you never saw Alan Parker's movie called Angel Heart with Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro, check it out. Lisa Bonet's in it also. It's creepy. It's cool. Has to do with hiding a soul from the devil. It also has to do with voodoo. It's really cool stuff. You ever see that, Doc?
No, I haven't actually seen that. So I'll check it out because it's got a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think it was kind of creepy. I thought it was more of a drama.
No, it's a great movie. It's probably, I would say, one of the best devil-styled films you can watch. It's a great movie. Yeah, and I just watched also over the weekend Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, that's good. That's creepy.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It had a very young Ving Rhames in it, and that movie was made like a year before he exploded with Pulp Fiction. So it's pretty funny where you see him, in this weird get-up, very, outfit he's wearing, and then to turn around and make the Marsalis transition. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know.
That's
So,
the wonders of acting. You just never know when it's
yeah.
going to be.
Yeah, he's a wonderful actor. I mean, he pops up in a lot of movies that are really good, and then he pops up in movies that you say they had who Ving Rhames, so it's all about the dollar too, I guess.
Well, I saw a movie. It's I think it's probably like a 2012, and because I like to watch all the possession movies too, just to see what they're like. I think, of course, The Exorcist is obviously like the best and the original and one of your favorite movies. But
Yeah.
I saw one called Possession. It's called The Possession, and it was pretty good for a possession movie. It has Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it, who's like my new favorite person. Oh my goodness, he's so good looking. And he's such a good actor, too, on top of it. And he's like the guy who's the lead in Magic City. If anybody's ever seen Magic City, you would know his face, but maybe you don't know his name.
Yeah, he always reminds me of. He looks like the dude that was in No Country for Old Men. What the hell's his name?
Anthony Bourdain, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, confuse them. He's also good looking. I just really, really like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's like my new favorite person.
He was in a movie called The Losers. That's a great movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Magic City was a great.
He was in The Resident too, which is another really good freaky movie.
Magic City was a great series. I don't know why they canceled it. I guess it was too expensive to make.
It was on Stars, so I never actually got a chance to see it.
Yeah.
And I was kind of upset with that, but I'll see it on the flip side, like on Netflix or something like that when it comes.
Yeah.
But I know, for some reason, like Miami-based things. Well, it's basically, since this is an industry show, the problem is our taxes down here, because everywhere you want to make a movie, the main thing people are looking for is a tax break.
Yep, incentives.
And that's where you're going to make your film. And so if you want to court the film industry, which Florida, we have beautiful locations, we have a lot of talent, we have money. You can find a lot of people to produce your films, but the only problem is the government. It's improved a little bit, but
Florida
they really need to consider giving better tax breaks.
Florida, if you want to make a great, like a remake of Cocoon, that's the prime spot to make it, no?
Yes, that is true too. But for some reason, every like movie, which is like Dexter, based in Florida, they like Burn Notice started off, Florida, and it's kind of the only one that's been able to like hang on. But everybody else, they start here, and then they're sets in LA, sets in Canada,
I mean,
sets where they get tax breaks.
Dexter, they only shot certain exteriors in Miami. The whole show was filmed here in Long Beach, so it's pretty funny. So is everybody's always talking about True Blood, and they're like, oh yeah, they filmed that down in Louisiana for their tax break. Wrong. They film it in an area called The Lot, right here in West LA. The whole series is filmed here.
And if Florida wants to get in on the pie, like we have to kind of be like Canada, and Georgia has some good tax breaks.
Florida needs to get off take a shit or get off the pot, because they need to compete with their neighbor. Their neighbor is Louisiana, who has like a 30% tax break. Okay, let me just educate the audience out there. What we're talking about, what incentive means, tax breaks and everything else. Each state gives filmmakers an incentive. They'll give you back X amount of money if you shoot in their state. But here's the rules. You have to use a lot of their state people. A lot of their actors, some actors you can fly in, but a lot of the crew, mainly crew, you have to house them there. You have to use maybe 75 to 80% of your budget in that state. They will give you back 30% of whatever your money. So if you're making you're shooting $1 million movie. Let's make it simple. You're making $1 million movie, and you're shooting it in Louisiana. Louisiana is a 30% tax break, so they're going to give you a check for $300,000. So as filmmakers, if you got an investor that's putting up all this money for you, that $300,000, you could do two things with that. You can throw that $300,000 back into the film and make your budget a little taller, or you could be smart about taller. I mean, make your budget a little bigger. Or you could be smart about it and take that $300,000 check and give it back to your investor and say, here you go. So you don't have to owe him more money. I mean, you'll still owe them money, but they got a bulk of it back within 4 to 6 weeks that you're filming, which is great. So keep that in mind when you're going to shoot something. Depending on your budget, obviously, if you're shooting a $50,000-$60,000 movie, you ain't going to another state to get a tax break. They're gonna, you're never gonna get a better deal than what you're doing. So that's the inside tip of the day.
Yeah, that's good. We need some inside tips because that's what the show is supposed to be about.
It is about.
Give you a little help when you're trying to understand the industry, break into the industry, and have some fun in the industry. Because the more knowledge you have, then the more ability you have to do what you want to do, and that's where all the fun comes in.
I had some emails. One email I was going to read is stating that somebody's asking me, I think Andrew is here. Doc, take over for a quick minute. I'm going to go get the door.
Sure, absolutely. So maybe I'll take the time to do a little shout out and interaction with the chat room while Churchill is bringing Andrew in. One thing I see is also Ginger Irish likes Jeffrey Dean Morgan like me. And if you guys also want to see kind of a creepy movie for Halloween, which I also really liked, you can check out The Resident. It's very kind of quiet. It actually has Hilary Swank in it, and she's wonderful in it, surprisingly enough, because she's basically wonderful in everything she does. But it's very creepy, and it's a little understated, and also you get like a chance to intimately know Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I love him. Okay, so also people in the chat room seem to love Supernatural as a series because we were talking about some of the best TV series. I know for a fact that is one of Irish Ginger's favorite series. And apparently Rhonda Johnson in the chat room too likes that as well. And as we were talking about incentives for film too, Rhonda was saying Thomas needs to make a movie in Texas. I actually don't know what the incentives are in Texas, but I know most of Tom's movies, he's making them in LA because incentives in LA are very good.
Okay.
Oh, and I hear some activity, so maybe Andrew has ridden in on his badass motorcycle, being such a badass actor.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to tell 195 countries and my co-host, Dr. Drew, Mr. Andrew BRYNIARSKI.
Dr. Drew, I like that. Sorry, everybody, I was late. I was riding in the rain. I got held up on the bike.
So it's good to have you here, and welcome to Church's Hollywood Moments.
So basically what you're telling us is like you were riding on a motorcycle, like maybe shirtless or in leathers, and now you're dripping wet?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, that's good for me. Welcome.
So we got like a little less than, I guess, 10-15 minutes of the show. So I had some questions I was going to talk to you about. So, I mean, I'll whiz through them quick.
All right.
Obviously, I already gave you a big plug.
Sorry for making you hold the fort so long.
No, it was good. I'm glad you're here because it's like my audience is probably saying, that fucking church, he's probably don't have Andrew coming on his show.
They know. You got as good a shot as anybody, probably better.
See that?
I don't do this for anyone, but I wish I could have been on time, but I totally,
Well, we'll definitely make it another time that you'll be
made
here.
like a madman over here.
I said to everybody that Michael Myers had to introduce me to Leatherface. I talked to him how we met through Brad Laree.
That's pretty good cred, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You should have a horror show or something with all your connections.
Yeah, I'll try.
Also on the bike, Brad Laree.
Yeah, Brad is also, when he was parked out here once, he got a ticket on a Friday.
Don't tell me that. I
No,
gotta
you
go.
won't-
Sorry,
yeah.
everybody. Bye.
No, well, she just
There she
she
goes.
Skyped out. But one of the questions I got for you that to me is probably one of the greatest
People
things.
hear us?
Yeah, absolutely. We're on the air.
What's up, people?
195 countries. Say hi to the chat room too.
Yeah, what's up, chat room? 195 countries.
Yeah.
Pardon me for not running down the list. We don't have enough time.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Putting on that costume for the very first time. What was going through your mind? How did you feel when you first saw yourself?
Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately put Rain and Blood on and had my guitar in my trailer and was fooling around with Dead Skin Mask and Rain and Blood and just blowing out the speakers. Pretty much put on the costume, got in the makeup, and looked in the mirror, and I get it.
Right.
It gave me a lot to play with. You know, they really did great work, and it was inspiring and, you know, creatively motivating, and, you know, it was good for me. So it was very easy. Once I was dressed and through the makeup, I put on the Slayer, and I was ready to go kill people.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
With corn syrup and bullshit, of course.
Corn syrup and bullshit.
That's how I refer to the horror industry.
Well, yeah.
It's all corn syrup and bullshit.
With the horror industry, one of my other favorite things. What inspired you? I mean, as an actor, I mean, you've done a lot of movies that's not horror. I mean, you're a Hollywood actor.
Creative freedom.
Yeah.
I've been an artist, a right brain kind of guy my whole life. So pretty much making a living as an artist and having the freedom to, to act out these different stories and different things inside people's heads. It's always been a dream come true to me, and it's a blessing to make a living as an artist. So the inspiration was always not to go get a day job.
Yeah. Yeah, we, it seems like we just lost something here. She cut out, connecting.
She took us off. She bumped us off the air.
Stop recording. No, we're not going to stop recording because we can continue to record and they can just hear it later. But I definitely...
Did we lose the audience?
No, I believe the audience is still there.
The audience is listening.
They're always listening. Info, we're back on the air. If you guys just listening to us now,
Stay tuned for a 15-minute commercial break.
No. So I was just talking to Andrew in regards to what made him, what inspires him in doing his acting, and he was stating that he's an artist, and
I try to be great too. I try to really kick ass and swing for the fences with whatever I do. I try to really cherish and make the most out of every opportunity I have as an actor, as a storyteller, to drive that ball right over the fence. That's always what I'm trying to do, and that could mean a lot of different things. But whatever it is in my process, when I sign off on it and I see that it kicks ass, then I go with that. And if it doesn't, then I try to think of some more kick-ass stuff and try to just be as basically kick-ass with each opportunity as I get. As possible, regardless of the genre or whatever it is. I try to put my head in it to get it, to understand my job, and then to deliver as the vessel.
Right. Well, we were saying earlier, Doc and I were talking about Texas, and I said out of all the Leatherfaces, yours was like the scariest, and the film itself was really like on point.
It works well.
One of my favorite scenes of the film is when you were wearing Jessica Biel's boyfriend's face, which is probably...
And I turn around, and the feathers from the down jacket, I just chainsawed the girl.
Yes, and
floating around like it's a beautiful snowy day, and
yeah.
It
looked it
reminds
great.
me of Diamonds and Rust by Judas Priest.
Okay.
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 Snow falling around your hair. As our breath lingers in the cold air. You know, pretty much, I pretty much have a rock song in my head for every scene I do.
It's a great film, and I was also stated earlier that you worked with some of the biggest, besides biggest actors in Hollywood. I mean, you got to work with some great directors. I mean, on me, who's I'm on the side of the camera. I mean, you worked with Oliver Stone, you worked with Michael Bay, you worked with
someone who's supposedly been blackballed by everybody that gets mad at me 500 times in my career. I've done pretty well. Huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I've been blessed to work with some amazing, super huge talents and a lot of super generous, creative people. And, I'm proud of my resume. And it's certainly been an amazing opportunity to have worked with the greats that I've worked with.
Yeah. Well, we're almost actually running out of time, and I apologize. I will make it a point to you people out there to try to have Andrew back.
One more question.
One more
question. One off the list.
One more question. We'll get one more question quick. What scares you?
Baby's mama.
That's funny.
No, what's funny?
What's funny?
Yeah, that's not funny. I'm serious.
I got a baby's mom too.
That's not funny.
No,
that's scary.
It's funny that you said that.
Yeah, hey. But other than that, I don't know. I try to chase fulfillment. I try to be as to do as many things as I think are worth doing as I can, and try to be satisfied and satiated by my work and by my life. So whatever I can do, I try to do. Fear tastes like chicken. It's always been my motto. And, fear has no purpose. It just holds you back and keeps you from manifesting whatever it is you're going to manifest. And I try to get things done, and hopefully I'll have some sort of destiny here, a career, or whatever it is. This is also gay talking about my work, but
no, it's not gay.
Bottom line is, it's making movies, and it's all corn syrup and bullshit. Whatever's funny, funny's money. Whatever's clever.
There you go.
We just try to entertain the audience, and it's a blessing. Like I said, thanks to all the fans for enjoying my work and supporting my work and getting excited by my work. I appreciate it, and I love you all. Yeah. I've got the best fans. They're real as can be. So I appreciate every one of you, and I love you.
Well, thanks
for waiting for me. All three of you that are left in 195 countries.
There you have it, Mr. Andrew BRYNIARSKI. I will definitely try to have him back on. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
We'll definitely do it again for all the people that waited, and hopefully nobody's disappointed. But we'll definitely give you some more time for tuning in.
Take care.
Thanks.
You're tuned to All Radio X. All extraordinary. All exceptional. All excellent. All Radio X.
X marks the radio spot.
You're tuned to All Radio X. All extraordinary. All exceptional. All excellent. All Radio X.
X marks the radio spot.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily express those of All Radio X or its sponsors. All shows are independently owned and broadcast for entertainment purposes only. Readers and listeners are advised that neither All Radio X nor its owners and agents shall be held liable for the content of programs, website content, and any audio produced and streamed by All Radio X is protected under copyright and may not be recorded, rebroadcast, redistributed, or reused without express written permission from All Radio X.
You're listening to Church's Hollywood Moments with your host, Thomas Churchill and Drew Albright. Booyah! Yeah, that's right. It's my show, people. It's where independent and Hollywood become my mainstream. Action. Tune it up. Grab a chair, and booyah is in the air. Cut! Hello, hello, hello. This is a special edition of Church's Hollywood Moments. I'm your host, Thomas Churchill, a.k.a. Church. I do not have my co-host with me this evening, Dr. Drew Albright, but she's here in spirit. The special edition that I have here is kind of a bonus. A couple weeks ago, we had one of my close friends and a great actor, Mr. Andrew Banowski, was on. He was here for a short period of time because of traffic. But we're gonna have him we're gonna have him on again. I had the privilege of meeting Andrew through a mutual friend of ours, Brad Lurie, a.k.a. Michael Myers. So it's funny, so you leave it to Michael Myers, leave it to horror that Michael Myers would introduce me to Leatherface. So I know Andrew a few years now. To me, what I see is he's a down-to-earth, humbled, big animal lover, great guy, and would go that extra mile for his fans as well as his friends. Church's Hollywood Moments is honored to have my friend, Mr. Andrew Banowski, back again. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
What's happening, man? Good to be here, Tom.
It's great. Again, I'm sorry that we don't have Dr. Drew here, but we just wanted to finish up or start, so to speak, our little interview process with you. So how did this road start for you? How did you get to Hollywood?
Wow. It's a good question. I think that I've been answering that question forever, but it's been a while. When I was a teenager, after high school, I thought I wanted to be a professional wrestler, probably. So, I was pretty sure that was going to be, what I was supposed to do with my life at that point, which, I'm the first one to think that sounds ridiculous now, but it's been a long time. It was a good idea at the time. I thought it was exciting, and I thought, they would love me. So I was a bodybuilder along the way. I'd been bodybuilding since I was about 13. And I took it pretty seriously, and I really enjoyed bodybuilding. I was a good bodybuilder. By the time I was 19 years old, I was competing with my training partner, who was Mr. America, Mr. Universe. I was doing those shows, and I won a show back then, which I don't want to talk too much about, but after that, bodybuilding was pretty much done for me. I didn't see a future in it. I didn't want to be exploited by the, privately owned media machines that, basically inspired me as a kid by putting pictures of their champions on their magazines. Right. And then I got to California, and these guys were, sleeping in the back of their station wagons in the parking lot of the gym. And, so I had no respect for the people that, didn't
So it's like a big
out for them.
Reality check with these guys.
Yeah, and it made it clear to me that I didn't, my time in posing trunks and shaving my body and greasing myself up, those times were done, which
it's not for everybody.
Which is good because, I somehow I looked at it as a sport, and, there's absolutely sport to it. It's a quest, it's a challenge, and the competition, between physiques is a valid one, and it's a, hard road. But, at that point, I just, I looked at it like shaving your body and greasing yourself in oil and wearing little gay trunks. And I was like, that's it. I couldn't respect bodybuilding anymore. So I had done what I wanted to do, and I was moving on. And while I was at the gym one day, somebody at the front desk on my way out said, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?" And I just laughed and, shot right back. And, oh, yeah, duh. Put me in a fucking movie. Put me in a movie. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And he's like, okay, cool. And I was talking to somebody else, and he came, a few minutes later, and he gives me a piece of paper. I go, what's this? He goes, that's the phone number and the address. Be there, tomorrow at 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, what are you talking about? Be there for what? And he's like, you wanted to be in a movie, right? I told him you'd do it. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? For real? Because, where I grew up, that was as ridiculous as, it would be for a lot of people.
Right.
Anywhere but Hollywood. You know, nobody does that.
Right.
You know, I moved out here for different reasons, and I didn't even think about it. And next thing you know, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I showed up, you know, and I was an extra on this movie.
What was the movie?
It was, now this question I've never answered in an interview. I try to forget the movie. I hope nobody looks it up, but it is for the record, and you are Tom Churchill, my good buddy. It was called Dragon Fight.
Interesting.
And Michael Paré was the star of the movie, which there's a funny story about that 25 years later. But I just worked with Michael again on a movie, and I haven't seen him since.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, hey, I started my career as an extra on one of your movies back when they said your career was over 25 years ago.
Right.
And here we are. And we hit it right back off. But yeah, I mean, what that movie was really important for, and, you know, always be part of my story, is that I was able to get into the union by 2 days of extra work, which is pretty a miraculous feat, but I didn't know that at the time. I just said, you know, what's Taft-Hartley?
Yeah.
Why are you excited that somebody's going to say your scenes are on the cutting room floor,
Right.
and you're getting Taft-Hartley? They said, oh, I can be in the union. I'm like, why would you want to be in a union?
Right.
I was thinking, like, you know, New Jersey and
Right.
baseball
Right.
bats.
Right.
And, like,
Right.
you know, that's what a union was to me at 19.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, if you're in the union, you can, you know, speak in movies and work in movies as an actor. And
Interesting.
I've been watching this cat who was also a bodybuilder, who I didn't know how to roll in the movie. And I was at this table drinking fake beer, but we switched it out for real beer. It was at a club that it was called the China Club back in the late 80s, early 90s. All the rock stars would go there, and Monday night they'd all jam and celebrity jam. And so, I mean, I was comfortable in this place, and some of the guys that were producing this film actually would go there Monday nights, and I knew them from Monday nights at this club.
Right.
And now they're paying me to be in the movie at the, you know, same joint. So it was like me watching this guy from the gym all day long, miss his mark and freeze up and couldn't say whatever his simple dialogue was to the bartender. And you know, I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe how bad this is.
Right.
Why can't this guy speak?
Right.
But I noticed that a lot of big guys had a problem from posing in the mirror.
Can't talk.
They can't talk,
Yeah.
which made me laugh. But I got a lot of work,
Right.
you know, because I certainly have no problem talking. And yeah, so I went to the director and I said, "Hey, you the director?" Because they told me that he's the guy with the hat. And he turns around and he goes, "Yeah, wait a minute." And he doesn't turn around. I'm like, "Okay, I'm waiting." And I'm crazy yoked. And back in the day, I was like the only one. There weren't many people bodybuilding seriously, or 300 pounds and 6'5". So he turned with bleach blonde hair, cut like Brian Bosworth, and he turns around, he sees me, and his eyes open, his jaw hits the floor, and he's like, "Oh my God!" Well, I was used to that. That's why I went to Los Angeles in the first place.
Right.
And he goes, "You know, who are you?" And I said, "I'm Andrew BRYNIARSKI. I'm working on this movie with you. Are you the director?" And he's like, "Yes." You know, and this seems ridiculous, just like it does to a lot of people at this point. But
Right.
I was just honest and inexperienced, and you know, it was strange for him, very unusual already for him. And
Right.
he's like, "What can I do for you?" And I said, "I need you to put me in the union, so you can Taft-Hartley me, and just say my scenes got cut on the floor if they ask."
Staring him down and all.
And he's like,
Sure.
"Oh my God, like, what is good?" He's looking around, there's no help. He's like, "Never seen this and been in this position in my life." But he's like, "Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to do that?" And I said, "Well, because I want to be in the movies. And I guess if I'm going to be in the movies, instead of this guy who's wasting your time and my time and looking like an idiot, I guess that's my job. That's what I should be doing."
I want to talk.
Yeah. And he's like, "Well, okay." And he said, "What did you say your name was?" I go, "Andrew BRYNIARSKI." He goes, "Where did you come from?" I go,
Philly. And he did it. And the union called me a couple weeks later, and they're like, "You have to go to your friend's film company. Did you get paid?" And I said, "Yeah, I got paid. They paid me. They were really cool to me. I had a good time." And they go, "Well, what'd they pay you?" And I'm like, "Well, they paid me what they said they were going to pay me. $100 a day or whatever." And they're like, "Oh, well, you have to go back, and they have to give you some more money." And I'm like, "No, I agreed to what I agreed to. I'm not going back there. These guys are my friends. I'll never work again. I want to work with these guys again. I can't go back and ask them for more money. I'm okay with what I got." And they're like, "No, you don't understand. You got put in the union on this movie. So therefore you have to get paid, union wages. How many days did you work?" And I'm like, "Well, I worked like 4 days, but they paid me." And they're like, "No, they have to pay you like, $1,000 a day." And I'm like, that's $4,000. I'm like, after the fact, after I walked away and said thanks, and everybody, still talks to me.
Right.
Now I'm going to say,
"Hey, you guys owe me money."
"Hey, you owe me $4,000. Where's my check?" And she's like, yeah, that's how it works. And I'm like, "You got to be fucking kidding me." So sure enough, I went over there, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I hate to bother you, but," they're like, "Yeah, you're here to pick up your check?" And I'm like, "You're kidding me. Like, this is for real people. This is what they do."
It's amazing.
And then you just come and they cut you a check for a few more grand. And they like it. And they say thanks. I'm like,
no baseball bats, no nothing.
I was like, this is ridiculous. And then, I really couldn't believe it. And I'm like, yeah, anytime we can do this again. And then I joined the union, and when I was young, it was good. It helped me get some loans, and, got my first credit cards from the union, and, I have a pension started because of that. And I've been working, in good movies with pretty much the best in the world for 25 years now. And that's how it started, and that's where it started. So,
And then Hudson Hawk came right after that film?
Yeah, pretty much. I joined the union, and I had somebody who thought he could, represent me and open some doors for me, even though he was in New York. He was in Long Island, actually.
Right.
But he really believed in me, and thought if he could get me in the room, being a hype man from Hofstra University, he believed that I could, work my magic or whatever charisma he thought that I had back in that time. And, I was like, yeah, okay. To me, it was like, I didn't like Arnold back then. I was like this all-American kid, and I felt like he was this foreign guy. And,
right.
Me and my friends would have more fun than that. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's try to make movies. Why don't you get me in the room? And, it's been a good 25 years so far. So good.
You, favorite actor that inspired you to do what you do?
That inspired me to do what I do.
Yeah, as a kid growing up, the one actor that you wanted to...
See, I liked horror movies, but I really liked rock and roll.
All right, so the favorite person that inspired you to make you want to be in this entertainment business?
I just wanted to do it for myself. I didn't want to be the next anybody. I didn't want to be compared to Arnold. To me at the time, that wasn't, a high compliment. That was saying like, I'm just as cool as this guy from Austria who doesn't speak English and everybody was laughing at. And then he made a movie that made a lot of money and now everybody loves him,
Right.
And I just wanted to do my own thing. And I guess my mother really instilled in me she was a librarian for elementary school kids until she retired, and she had a doctorate in library science and the whole thing. But what she really impressed me for was she would talk in front of these school kids, these elementary kids, and they'd meet in the library, and she'd turn off the lights and have a flashlight and hold it in front of her face, under her chin, while she'd read them.
That's pretty cool.
Whatever, simple story. And, I never forget, how fun that was and what it did for me. And it turned on my imagination, And so I get my storytelling kind of creative performer side from her.
Right.
And, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
To this day, I get 40-year-old people come up to me
when I go and see my mom and say, "Hey, aren't you Linda's kid?"
It's pretty cool.
She's my hero. Tell her I said hi from 50 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
And I'll
awesome.
be like, yeah, this guy from 50 years ago says hi. Do you remember him?
My sister's a teacher, and my mom was well, she's been retired, but she was a teacher's aide, a paraprofessional. They called them back east during the early '80s and stuff. But you worked with some great directors: Lehman, Tim Burton, John Singleton, Oliver Stone, Michael Bay, John McTiernan, Marcus Nispel, and the list goes on and on and on. But
About it.
who had the biggest influence on you, directing you?
Well, listen.
Besides Tom Churchill, that's going to come up.
I mean, this is why the haters hate me. I mean, that's when I hear that list. You know, I never was one to stop along the way and pat myself on the back for
But
how
isn't it a big
impressive
accomplishment,
my
man?
my list I was compiling was. But now that it's been a minute or a couple decades and there is a list, it impresses me, and I can't really say. I mean, every single one of those people I worked with, and the people that aren't obvious just as much. I mean, they helped me shape my craft and
Right.
worked very intimately, with me, trying to, on their projects, their creative, visions and things. And, I have great stories from Tim Burton. I have great stories from John Singleton. Every single person you mentioned there, I mean, I've got more than a few stories of how they shaped my career, because I was green when I started.
Right.
And Hudson Hawk was the biggest movie ever made at the time, or ever produced, and it was under fire from every section of the industry for being a wanton example of overinflation and budgets out of control, and fingers were being pointed at everyone. And meanwhile, we were making a movie that started as an action film, and while we were 300 crew of actors and above and below line all over the world on different locations for months at a time, we'd have 6 weeks off while the studio would fight with Joel Silver. And I'd just kick up my feet in Europe somewhere for 6 weeks. And then when I'd get new pages, it would go from being an action movie to being a comedy. Yeah.
Right.
And I swear they used every color pages in the palette on that movie for new page revisions. We were going through like Coho Salmon and young tender goldenrod. We were
Right.
probably and it couldn't have been a more. It was as honest and unique an experience as it was an amazing experience.
I read that you were visiting a friend.
But anyway, I was going to say, they taught me, every single one of the people I worked with, they listened to a kid ask honest questions
Mhm.
for the answers that I didn't have and I needed to know. So I asked the best in the world
Right.
that were there. So who better to ask?
Well, it's true.
And they let me approach them, and they let me be humble and honest, and they answered and basically taught me by doing that. So I was open ears and, like a sponge. And I wanted everybody around me that I worked with to talk and teach me, and they did. So it's pretty much it's pretty neat. And I'm thankful for everyone from James Coburn to Christopher Walken to Al Pacino to James Woods to all the amazing people I worked with along the way.
Okay. Let's just skip right to the meat and potatoes. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Putting on that costume for the first time. Tell us what it was like. What was going through your mind when you first saw yourself as the iconic Leatherface?
Well, when I was young, I laugh because here I am talking with you on Thanksgiving once again, and much to people's surprise and shock, talking about myself isn't always my favorite thing to do, but I don't mind. I'm laughing and choking at the same time right now. But I'm trying to take it seriously. Because it deserves to be taken seriously. But exactly. And that's what I want people to take from this. Don't take it too seriously.
Was it cool seeing you as
Oh, that's what you want. All right, listen. When I was everything's going to start with when I was a kid.
That's fine.
To the suffering of the audience.
When I was your age.
Not again. Just answer the fucking question, BRYNIARSKI. Yeah. Well, the first book I ever read was something my mom gave me because I didn't want to read, the same old crap. And she gave me a book called Heroes of the Horrors, which is out of print, but you can find it occasionally online. And it was a great book, and it had tons of illustrations, and it was a chronicle of Vincent Price and Boris Karloff and Lon Chaney Jr. and all the guys and all the roles and all the pictures and all the inside scoop. At the time, there wasn't internet blogs and DVD extras, but I was one of the few people that heard these guys speak on their craft, and it was the first thing I was interested in ever consuming as a reader. That wasn't a KISS periodical, which was my other, until I read Heroes of the Horrors, consuming KISS periodicals was my about as much reading as I was getting in as a kid. But Heroes of the Horrors made me learn about Lon Chaney and how he, put the fish hooks, into his nose and hid them along his, jawline over his ear and secured them, under his wig. And I was doing all this stuff when I read that. I'd go down to the theater places. I'd take a train when I was young, like even 7 years old, down to the city in Philadelphia, and I would go and I'd buy grease paint and theatrical blood, and I would go and try to do this stuff in my bathroom mirror as a kid. And when I couldn't figure out how to do the fish hooks without, impaling myself, which is, kids today, they just actually do it. Then I would just turn myself into Ace Frehley in the mirror instead and call it a day. But I mean, I always had the mindset of playing these roles. I never looked at it as, having to, it wasn't a need of mine, but when I faced it creatively, it became amazing. And when I had the opportunity to take a shot at, throw my hat into the ring for Leatherface with Michael Bay, I did it. And I didn't really know. I mean, I told him I was born to wear the mask. It wasn't hard for me,
Mm-hmm.
I would just listen to, Rain and Blood and Dead Skin Mask, and I'd put the stuff on, and I'd already worked with, K&B and done the life casts and seen the different things they were coming up with. And I realized, these guys are going to have the say of, what they're going to do, and that's their job. But I wanted to make sure I felt it was cool enough or it looked good, and if I didn't like it, I'd say something. At first, everybody thought they couldn't believe it, who's this guy with the big mouth and all these opinions, he's just going to be a guy in a mask. But I didn't really let that bother me, and it was all about being
The character.
being, believable and being credible in the role. That was such an iconic role, and that, so many people would be opposed to. And, I just didn't care. I knew that if it was cool enough, I could sell it. And if we did, it would be, badass. So.
Well, they were talking, you said once that they were talking about you, Michael Bay was talking to you possibly about being Leatherface on the set of Pearl Harbor, right?
Well, I mean, this is close, something like that. I'd already done Pearl Harbor with Michael Bay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd been going to his Christmas parties that he has every year, which I used to do. And at one of these Christmas parties, I had recently read in Variety or whatever when I used to read the trades. I read that he had gotten the rights and he was going to do it, and I'm like, holy smokes, Michael's going to go after something different, really, very, very brave. I thought it was very daring and, like unexpected. And I'm like, first thing I said was, who's he going to get to play the killer? And that's when it just popped into my head that,
You'd be perfect.
It's got to be me, and I should tell him why, because I mean, I thought about it right there, and it's just a big smile across my face. I mean, it's like I'd be the wrong guy.
So how did you pitch it to him?
I told him, "Listen, Michael, I heard that you got the rights to a remake in Chainsaw Massacre, and I think it's an awesome idea. I just wanted to tell you that the only thing that I want you to know is that as far as Leatherface goes, you can't just get any big guy in a mask, and I know that's what you guys are thinking. It's not just a mask that's going to scare somebody. The mask isn't going to do the job. You know what I mean? It's not just how great you are as a director. You have to have somebody that understands the psychology, somebody that's, an apex predator, somebody that's dangerous and has a reason." And I told him, all things considered, I was born to wear the mask.
It's awesome.
I said, because you can put the mask on the table and it won't do anything. But I'll kill you with a wet noodle. And if I'm wearing a mask that I just sewed together from your dead friends, let's just say that there's no talking to me anymore. I'm pretty much done talking. And you're running. And it's not fun or funny. Good luck, And yeah, so I figured that's why I should do it, Michael. And he was quoted saying that. He says, "I was a little scared." Andrew said, "I was born to wear the mask," and I was like, "Alrighty then."
If that's what got me the gig,
let's let him show us rather than put on he comes over, wears a mask, and pops over to the office.
Right.
But anyway,
what was your favorite scene shooting that movie?
It was just an amazing experience.
Shooting both films, yeah.
I mean, it was great times. Plus, I made a lot of really great friends that I still have to this day, with my time in Texas. And, I was having a good time off the set in Texas, and people were good to me there. And, I mean, working with Marcus was great. Working with Jonathan was also great. Totally different experience.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, everybody was amazing. And, yeah, they did talk to me. Did you ask me if they talked to me about doing Friday the 13th before?
No, I was going to bring that up. You're pretty good.
I must have heard it picked it up on my feelings.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
When Marcus was getting ready to do the remake with Michael Bay as well.
Yep.
Tell me about that you were almost Jason.
Well, I think that
would have been cool to have both icons under your belt.
If my memory serves me, I think that what year Freddy vs. Jason come out?
Freddy vs. Jason, I believe that came out in the late 2000s. I want to say either 8 or 9.
No, that's the remake.
Freddy vs. Jason. No, so Freddy vs. Jason had to come out in like 2005 or 6 maybe.
Did it come out before my remake of the Chainsaw?
Not sure.
Because I remember going to the premiere. I wasn't sure if they asked me at that point. I
can find out for you while we're talking.
I almost think that they asked me to, with some level of interest way back then about Jason. And if my memory serves me right, the first thing they said back in Freddy vs. Jason era was that I had blue eyes. And that Jason couldn't have blue eyes through the mask, which I thought was, the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, because that's what contacts are for.
But, that said, that didn't go any further. But then when Michael
2003, Freddy vs. Jason came out.
Yeah. So, fast forward to Michael Bay about to remake Friday the 13th. At first, it was Jonathan, I believe, or it might have been Marcus, and then Jonathan, and then Marcus. But originally, it was John. For a time after we did Texas Chainsaw the beginning with Jonathan, he was set to direct Friday the 13th for Michael. And at that point, I thought we were pretty,
Locked in.
understood that
Right.
he was, it was his choice. It would still be up to Michael and Brad and Andrew. But
Right.
then things got shook up and Marcus came back into the fold.
Okay.
And when it came down to Marcus, I guess I started hearing, "You're Leatherface, you're so iconic. You can't cross iconic borders." These are all things that young executives, at least they're not, at least they're suits that don't wear suits.
Who says that?
Not talent.
No.
But yeah, so it goes the way it goes, and pretty much, I have my feelings and opinions on why. Obviously it was a big part of my actual life and journey, but no hard feelings. I love Marcus, I love Jonathan, I love the guys over at Platinum Dunes.
Right.
I can't say anything bad about Michael Bay. I mean, we didn't always get along. We didn't always work under great circumstances that I was, thrilled and impressed with. But when it's all said and done, I still love those guys for the reasons that I work with those guys. It's not always about the money,
Right.
Sometimes you have to do it to prove it can be done. And then when you do, everybody after you jumps in and makes tons of money.
Yeah.
But,
Is there a film that if they would ever remake it, you would want in and say, yeah, I want to be in that movie?
Well, it's funny because I'm not scared to remake anything. If the people you're going to basically go into battle with are dedicated and, competent and have the resources that they need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would never want to work with people or jump into any project, remake or not, but more so remake if people would cut corners or if they didn't have a real clear vision as to why they were trying to remake some great movie. Was what I really believed the whole time with working with Marcus and Michael buying the rights. I mean, everybody had something to prove on that movie. Everybody took a chance on everybody else going in to make that movie. There were so many people convinced and vocal about how we were going to suck and how we were destined to fail.
Right.
And these are the same people that support every poor attempt to keep the franchise alive, that ever existed.
Right.
Just in principle, but yet we can remake the original that, was
Yeah.
the best in terms
Right.
of quality and filmmaking, and production value. Even back then, it worked, on a lot of levels for what it was. And they didn't want to believe that anybody could touch that. They thought it was sacrilege.
Well,
I knew that Michael was, a super sharp, super able director, and I'd worked on a movie that was in such huge grand scale
right.
that Michael's impressed me, as an artist and as a person on more levels, in a million different ways, going
Right.
into Pearl Harbor, with that experience. And so, for him to start his own company and to, with a ton of balls, buy these rights and
So Chainsaw was the first movie
established
for
Platinum Dunes.
Platinum
Make
Dunes.
it or break it. And from Michael, I saw his move for what it was from the beginning, and I wanted to support it and be part of it. I was impressed by it. Michael wanted to not be the talent behind the big name producer like Jerry for he'd done for so long.
Right,
He'd made
right.
tons of money and been tons of successful.
Right.
As he's our stallion, Jerry Stallion, Disney Stallion.
Right.
Everybody looked good. Everybody, Michael was the director.
Right.
And then he wanted to basically become the producer.
Right.
And he wanted to find some young, brilliant talent that needed a chance to do a legitimate feature, for an established director in this case. And so everybody jumped at it, and he found Marcus. And just
Marcus was doing
just like Ridley
commercials,
Scott,
right?
Tony
Yeah.
Scott had been doing with Scott Free for years. Michael Bay came from commercials.
Right.
And I thought this was a smart move. And
it showed me in terms of a filmmaker, a shrewd maverick, path to veer into. And, so he found Marcus and gave Marcus a break, and everybody was talented and dedicated and determined and overly capable. And we had Daniel Pearl, who was the original DP,
Right.
30 years later.
Yeah,
Whose
which is
attitude
awesome.
was like, 30 years later, I don't want to hear any shit. I can't fucking top my work that I did when I barely knew what I was fucking doing.
Right.
I put my pants on fucking 30 years ago and I hadn't done anything. People, what can I say when people tell me you can never do better 30 years later with everything I've done, this and that? I'm like, word. So I knew that he was ready and everybody was ready. And I looked at him and I go, are you ready? You okay doing it with me? Do I meet your expectations? He's like, shut the fuck up, Andrew G. You're the best fucking Leatherface ever. All right, God damn it. I go, really? I go, you work with Gunner, so, I don't care about everybody else, what they think. Is that your take on it? Quite a compliment. I'll take it if that's what you're saying. He's like, you're just different.
Right.
He's like, Gunner was, it worked, but he wasn't an actor. He had never worked before. He was a young guy. We were all young guys. He was like, you're a professional. He goes, Jesus Christ. He's like, look at you.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we're going to be fine. So who knows better than who? Why should I doubt that? Or why should I not,
You're hearing it right from the eye of the camera.
I knew that I work with a lot of great directors, and Marcus, he was intense and he was passionate and his eye was amazing, and he'd made probably $1 billion for people in the advertising industry.
Right.
So, but yet they need to get rubber stamped and they need to break into features.
Right.
So he wasn't going to let us down. Nobody was going to drop the ball. And, I figure it's all fun until somebody gets killed with a chainsaw.
I read somewhere Pearl stated in an interview that he wanted to do such a long dolly shot following the main actress going into the house, and he couldn't really do that with the original version of the movie because they didn't have the budget. So when he was able to come back and do it, the shot he originally wanted to do from the first time around, he ended up getting. I mean, that's the camera following Jessica Biel all the way up to the house. Right. But all right, I mean, that's cool.
Well, I think the shot through the girl's
head was great. In the car?
With the whiffs of smoke.
That was awesome.
And then dollying right
that
out.
That was awesome. Right out of the hole.
Hole.
Great.
Then going wide to the Erica Learson puking next to the...
Awesome.
Awesome.
I mean, that's just talented fucking camera work.
The processing, the silver bleach negative, the red, the whole...
Mm-hmm.
It looked... great. That's art, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
that's somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing.
It's a team of talented people, trying to get to the top of their game.
Here's a question that some people like to answer and some people pass. What scares you? Could be anything in the world. I think I stumped Mr. Andrew Bryniarski. He's thinking.
I don't like to... the only thing I like less than talking about myself is answering this question.
Well, some people can say a baby crying.
Because the smile, the terse smile on my face, it says it all right now.
Right.
The only thing that scares me in this life are probably my mother and my baby's mother. That's true fear. And when they gang up on me,
there you go.
All of a sudden, my dad left us, and
sorry to hear
I got all brothers, and it was always boys and no girls, and now it's 3 against 1 every day. So
yeah, that sucks.
True fear.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy acting and meeting your fans at the cons?
Oh, I love it. I mean,
is that what inspires you to keep going?
And bodybuilding gave me a way out.
Right.
And saved me from a lot of things, myself at that time. And there was nobody, there were no juicehead gorillas at the Jersey Shore except me back then. And people would look at me like I was a dinosaur. My friend said that to me one day famously. People would break their necks staring at me, crash their cars walking across the street. And that was my reaction, like a really hot chick, only, completely, I'll just use the words gay and ridiculous because, I got to laugh at myself too. God's got a sense of humor.
Right.
So I'm laughing with him. And he lets me be me and, larger than life. And if I get struck by lightning, then I'd understand that, it's not funny anymore. But until that happens...
It's not funny until you get hit by lightning.
Or until you get hit and I hear, damn it, I missed. So I try to say my prayers and do the best I can. And I figured if people were so... there were people that would be inspired by me, especially when I was, such a serious bodybuilder. Nobody had seen that, in that generation. And, I tried to help people. And, people looked up to me. And they broke their neck. They hated me. They loved me. They, whatever. It didn't matter to me. I wish I had a nickel for everybody that would break their neck.
Right.
If I'm so fascinating, I'd say, love me or hate me, throw me a nickel if you're going to stare at me, and I'd be set.
There you go.
And I was doing it for myself. When I realized that, it might make me interesting or more interesting, in a line of people that might want to be, I don't know. I never thought I'd be an entertainer. I was always an artist, but they married together when I found out that, if I could do movies, I was certainly interesting looking enough.
Right.
If I stood there in a scene, I realized people would just stare at me and wait for me to do something. So I learned not to be a piece of furniture. And, words I carried into my career as I tried to entertain people.
Right.
I just always hoped that it would work enough so that one day I wouldn't have to duck eggs and rotten garbage
There you go.
when I walk down the street.
There you go.
Because I'm from Philly. Philly, if you suck, you got to duck eggs,
There you go.
so to speak. Only it's probably an ice ball with a battery wrapped inside it.
Oh. Now, you're a good-looking guy. Growing up, all your films, you had this larger-than-life look. You're a good-looking guy, handsome guy. But you could have played like all the leading man roles, but most of your roles were always the bad guy or the firecracker, so to speak. Going back to the program and Any Given Sunday and Christopher Walken's son in Batman Returns. I mean, your roles pretty much were always the dark and dangerous type. Is that something that, when you're reading a role, somebody offers you a script, you look for stuff like that? Is that...
I thought you were going to ask me a slightly different question, but...
See that? I can ask that other question later if you tell me what it is.
I think that, it's an interesting question that makes me want to give you a special answer. I thought you were going to say, people don't usually say that like that. But, the way it worked, I guess, was... with physique that I had when I was young and I came out to make movies, I figured, I'd take work away from Arnold, like an American car would take work away from, a German sports car. Like, my friends, they wouldn't want to drive a German car. They'd want, an American muscle car. So I figured, I guess I could go do that. If big guys are in movies, even if they're, goofy and can't talk, funny's money, whatever's clever. I'll play the big goofy funny guy if it means people laugh and they're not angry that they spent their $10 if they think it was entertaining. And I knew I was certainly interesting, and I thought I was pretty entertaining. And it's not rocket surgery,
Right.
So I figured why don't I give it a shot? But I was also aware that you haven't seen the likes of me. By this time, you know, okay, maybe, but you know, you got The Rock, you got other guys, you know, you got little guys who, you know, taking steroids and growth hormone to prepare for movies.
Right.
So it's a little bit different, but I knew there had never been anybody as big or muscular or anything Andrew, you know, on people's plates before.
Right.
Ever. You know, you had Arnold, but, you know, that was still seeing what was going to happen, and it was very different in my opinion. Then you got to go back to, like, the guy from Night of the Grizzly. What's his name? I want to say Clint Howard.
No, that's Ron Howard.
Yeah.
He's definitely not a big guy.
Something, anyway, I don't want to sound ignorant, but there was a big guy from Night of the Grizzly, you know, or Johnny Weissmuller, the swimmer. You know,
Right.
like, I mean, these were the guys that were physiques in movies.
Right.
Unless it was a Hercules movie.
Right.
Which I felt lucky that I never had to do a Hercules movie just because I had muscles and it was, like, required. You know, so, like, I mean, and these guys back in the day, they were, you know, not putting the kind of, you know, physique that I brought to some of my roles out there. And my comedy is, like, ridiculous over the top and large as well. So it worked from the beginning, and people laughed, and people were entertained. But there were a lot of people that were just shocked because it was different, and it was new, and it was ridiculously so. So some people loved it and supported me and gave me shots to entertain people with that. But a lot of Hollywood didn't know what to do. They were perplexed, pretty much, you know, or intimidated, which I found interesting as well. And I was inexperienced, so I didn't know to have projects ready when they said, you know, what do you want to do? I'd say, anything you want to do, whenever you're ready, give me a call. I'd be like, damn, when I was there, I wish I had been ready. But I didn't know that people would not know what to do with me. You know, so pretty much, you know, and that's testosterone for you. And pretty much the whole alpha male thing. I mean, people love it or they hate it.
No, yeah, it's kind of like me. You know, you either
Excites
love
them
you or they hate you.
running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, you know, but it's been fun, and I took every opportunity I could get. One time I asked Christopher Walken. I was still young. I was 22 when I had the honor to work with him and learn from him. And I said, you know, he's in all these great movies, and then I just saw a movie I can't believe it was in the cinemas, had you in it. And the only reason I went was because of it. And it was horrible. Like, you know, how do you decide what to do? And he goes, I don't put any thought into it. He goes, I'm just always so flattered. You know, every time somebody asks me to be in one of their projects, you know, I just try to do it. And, you know, whatever it is. You know, who am I? I could be digging ditches. My father was a baker. You know, I'll be like, all right. So I've also always been just grateful that I can make a living as an artist, you know, and not duck eggs. So it's working out all right, and I've taken every challenge creatively. You know, I didn't want to be a big one-note guy.
No, you got a
on a
pretty
certain
good
level. If somebody wanted to be a real dick, they could say no matter what I do,
Right.
I'm a bit. But those same people don't recognize
Those
me
are the haters.
in the roles
Right.
that I play,
Right.
which is success to me, because that's what I was trying to do: lose myself and play another person and another character.
Dude, you worked with Pacino.
Yeah,
Christopher Walken. You know, I mean, Bruce
Pacino,
Willis.
I told Pacino, I'll never forget working.
Andrew.
I'll never forget working with you. Al, he was amazing, and he goes, Andrew, stop. And I go, no, I just wanted from my heart. Andrew, enough. No, Al. I want you to say, I want you to hear it. You need to, Andrew, I'll never forget working with you. Okay?
You did that pretty good.
Well, I mean,
Other?
I've been there, you know, and haters can hate all they want. I mean,
Yeah, but you walk the walk, man.
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
that they can hate and all they want. You're
it's
doing
a blessing. I've been blessed. I mean, at that level, you know, I can never forget times like that where people have been that generous. And, you know, even if you're Al Pacino,
Yeah.
you can see the likes of me coming.
Right.
Not again Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh,
What any other impersonations you can do?
man. Probably terribly. People are probably lining up to fucking hate me today. They're like, I can't believe Andrew. What the hell is he talking about?
It's all right.
I mean, I do impressions sometimes.
Can you do Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, I can do Schwarzenegger.
You know what's funny is when you
Thomas, you have to come with me now. We have to find our mother. We haven't seen her for a long time. You have to go with me now. Julius, it's me, your brother.
Could you say, get to the chopper now?
We're twins. And then you say,
oh,
yeah.
Obviously.
It's like looking in a fucking mirror.
Oh, obviously. The minute you sat down, I thought we were looking into a mirror.
Get in the chopper. Get in the chopper now. I mean, I hear
fucking
kids,
good,
I hear
man.
kids doing that at conventions like a dozen at a time all day long.
It's awesome.
It's a good time.
Who else you got?
Well, I mean, you got to give a disclaimer. I mean, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Oh, no, we play that. We play
I'm
that.
not claiming to make, this is not necessarily accurate. It's only meant to be
No,
a
it's
good
just,
time.
this is all good times here. We got a disclaimer anyway in front of the show.
Well, Christopher Walken once said, Tim Burton said, what do you think Andrew could work out playing your son? I mean, they were shocked at my size, and, you know, they had their mouths open, and Christopher Walken goes, well, he goes, I guess, yeah. I mean, he's a big guy. He's a really big guy. Jesus. But I'm bigger than my father was. My father was a baker in Brooklyn who used to bake the bread. But there was no flour because of the Depression. So they put sawdust in with the flour, and they all got the rickets. So he was a small man. I'm bigger than my father because I had flour. You must have had orange juice.
That's good, man. That's fucking good.
And I go, yeah, I'm running with that. It makes perfect sense. And so that's how I got the job. You know,
So
fun.
what's next for you, big guy?
You never know. I mean, I'm a father, you know, first and foremost. So I try to do everything I'm told and be responsible. And, you know, you can't argue that when you have such a, you know, beautiful purpose. So I'm just trying to enjoy life. And as far as work goes, I look at a lot of interesting things.
I know we're going to be working together on a bunch of things.
I hope so.
No, we are.
Well, I mean, you know, creatively, I'm with you 1,000%.
Thank you.
As far as, you know, we hope and pray that the people that are smart enough to make movies and make some money with us are ready to go. Because you and I aren't putting a suit on anytime soon.
No. No.
I got a baby to feed before I do that, a bike to ride. But,
There you go.
When the money's ready, you know, there's a lot of good things with good people that are ready to go. I'm more interested in, and I look forward to more working with people that I respect and people that are fans of my work or come to me enthusiastically with, you know, great projects. And, you know, whenever I'm creatively moved, I'm all about doing everything I can. You know, some movies aren't ready to go, so they have to sort everything out, and it's other people's jobs. And then when it's time to go and play, you know, I'm excited. But, you know, I'm always open to anything that's worth doing with good people. So you never really know. Looking at the things I've done, you just never know. But if it's fun, it's cool, and I get the call, or, you know, it's ready to go, then we'll let everybody know here on this show first.
There you go. Now, one last question, and then I don't want to take up all your time. How can people find you if they want you to, other filmmakers out there, young producers, directors that want to have the iconic Andrew BRYNIARSKI in their films? How do they reach out to you?
Well,
You got a Twitter, you got Facebook.
they can either bombard your email with annoying personal requests,
Okay.
which, to some extent, I'm sure is already going to happen. Or they can just, hit me up on Facebook and, just be cool and be direct and talk to me like a normal person and, tell me what's up. Or, ask me what I could do to help.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, it was great. I'm privileged to have you here on Church's Hollywood Moments, and I'm also privileged and honored to have you as my friend.
Thanks, Tom.
And again, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Brad Lurie, who introduced us many, many years ago. And we're going to leave you guys. You have anything to tell anybody out there?
Yeah, shout out also to Brad Lurie. And before I go get my butt kicked for being late for holiday dinner, I just wanted to say it's been real cool hanging out with you, Tom. And I hope the audience has a great holiday. And when we tell you what we're doing, please support us and check it out. And until then, have fun, rock on, be safe, love the people you love, and just basically dare to be great and kick some ass.
Awesome.
For Churchill's Hollywood Moments,
this is Mr. Andrew BRYNIARSKI.
Mr. Andrew BRYNIARSKI.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to leave you guys with a All Radio Experience 2014 commercial. You guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and listen to me and Dr. Drew Albright on Church's Hollywood Moments. We'll see you next week.
All Radio X presents Experience 2014 at the Riviera in Las Vegas, April 26th, 2014. This will be the biggest event of the year. Open bar, food, entertainment, and chances to win door prizes. Tickets are $20 for all of this in Vegas. Can you get any better? Go to experience2014.com to get your tickets. Plan now. Buy now. The sooner you buy your tickets, the better this event will be. Tell your friends and we hope to see you there. You're tuned to All Radio X. All extraordinary. All exceptional. All excellent. All Radio X.
X marks the radio spot.
Cut! Cut! Wrap! Good job, everybody!